Hello and welcome to another episode of InnerView. I'm Alexandra Ilitch. Today we're going to talk about the 2014 Caregiver Retreat and what it means to be a caregiver with guests Bradenburg, Gast, and Charlene Crosby. But before we get into the interview, let's take a look at one caregiver's story.
This is Vern, and he is one of many who need a caregiver to provide daily help.
Caregivers can get very stressed caring for an individual, and if they don't take care of themselves, they're not going to be able to take care of anybody else.
The role of a caregiver can range from helping those in need stay mobile, take their medications, eat meals, and have someone watch over them.
Sometimes they're loved ones. Sometimes they're paid caregivers, but most of the people who come to this conference are people who do it day in, day out, and their payment is just the love of their person.
That conference is the annual Caregivers Retreat, which will be held here at the Eagle Eye Banquet Facility on March 27th. Caregivers will be treated to lunch, massages, and more, all thanks to multiple sponsors.
It's all designed to give the caregivers a retreat from their daily lives. And I've been a caregiver for quite a long time, so I know how important that is. And in my case, my husband Vern was diagnosed with Alzheimer's in 2000.
With 15 years of experience caring for Vern, Judy has been a guest speaker at the Caregivers Retreat to help others learn how to care for dementia-related people in need.
In this last stage in which he is right now with hospice care, they've been wonderful. We have visiting physicians who come to our home, so I don't have to take him out for his medical needs.
Vern, this is your wife, Judy. I need to be gone for a while, and I don't want you to forget.
Despite the effects the disease has had on both Judy and Vern's lives, some things will never change.
He has a great sense of humor. About 5 years ago at Easter time, he looked at me and he said, "You know, this Alzheimer's stuff isn't so bad." He said, "I can hide my own Easter eggs."
Okay, we're going to go to bed now.
Sponsors will also provide hospice care for the caregiver's person in need on the day of the event. In Meridian Township, Molly Casti, HOMTV.
Now that we have an inside look at caregiving and the Caregiver Retreat, let's introduce our guests. Joining me is Bradenburg, Gast of Hospice, and caregiver Charlene Crosby. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
So first and foremost, could you tell me, for people at home that don't know, what is a caregiver?
Caregiver is someone that takes care of their loved ones. Could be anything from cooking them meals, bathing them, giving them their medications, changing if they're incontinent, changing them. So it can be a lot of work, very stressful, going around to doctor's appointments, keeping them satisfied, fed.
Why did the three of you choose to be a part of this organization? You can just, anyone.
Well, I found that when I attend the Caregivers Retreat, I find a day of relaxation. I have the opportunity to meet other individuals who are going through the same of caring for someone. And also I get lots of good information, and also I enjoy the relaxation of the day.
Really quickly, could the three of you introduce yourselves and kind of tell me exactly what you do as part of this organization?
My name is Bradenburg, and I work with NexCare Health Systems. We have Holt Senior Care and Rehab and Diamonddale Nursing and Rehab here in the Lansing area. I've been involved in the retreat for the past 6 years. We have been the title sponsor for the past 3 years. And to be a part of this event is very rewarding. We as an organization like to give back to the community and help in any way that we can. So this is one way that we can help others be relaxed, restored, and rejuvenated so they can better care for their loved one.
Charlene?
My name is Charlene Crosby, and the reason that I've attended, out of the 7 years, 5 years, and I find that by knowing how to care for someone, how to have patience, how to endure with them and be in their support, and finding that I too can give back to help someone else, not just the person that I'm caring for. Also, we have an awesome time, good food, good fun, door prizes, and just sharing, just being there to share and knowing that there's a support system out there available for us.
Sherry?
I'm Sherry Gast with Hospice of Lansing, and the Caregiver Retreat started 7 years ago because I saw a flyer for a carnival of care for brain injury survivors, and my dad was taking care of my mom at the time, and I said, what about the family? What about the caregivers for these people? What is there in our Lansing community for caregivers? And I couldn't find anything that was exactly like this. So long story short, some very amazing people have come together over the last 7 years and made this possible. And comparing the Lansing healthcare community to some other areas, we have a very caring and community-oriented group of people who provide healthcare in the Lansing area, and that's what has made the Caregiver Retreat what it is now. So it's a lot of fun, but it's something that people really need to have and really need to be reminded that yes, they need to take care of themselves before they can take care of anybody else, and that's okay to do that.
What exactly does the organization do for the caregivers, you know, through this retreat? What exactly happens?
We have a day full of variety of things. The morning starts off with a keynote speaker. This year we have someone speaking on essential tips of caregiving. Then we have 3 educational seminars that the caregivers can choose to attend one of those. We have a lunch, plate at lunch, served by Eagle Eye. We have another set of 3 seminars for the caregivers to choose. And then our last session of the day is, we call it hands-on therapy, and it's actually learning how to make something, do something for themselves to help them relax, but have something visible to take with them. This year we'll be doing mini gardens and floral arranging, some picture coasters, and then a little mini airplane demonstration. We have resource tables. This year we have over 30 sponsors, and we have organizations from elder law to home care to hospice to equipment needs, and it's resources for the caregivers to be able to learn and get the information that's out there for them to better care for their loved ones. The whole event is done by the sponsorship, so I can't thank our sponsors enough for making this day possible. We have a room that, at Eagle Eye in the upstairs of the facility, that we have massage therapists there for the whole day. They are donating their time to help the caregivers relax and feel good about themselves. And again, let them know it's okay to do that. It's okay for them to be pampered for a day. So it's just a rewarding day. It starts at 8 in the morning. It runs till 4 in the afternoon. And the committee has been wonderful. Everyone works very hard to make it a great day for the caregivers.
Charlene, this question is specifically for you. You know, being a caregiver like yourself, obviously, you know, the job can be exhausting, and, you know, it's something that you would want to break from. And could you just tell me, you know, why you think something like this Caregiver Retreat is important for caregivers like you?
Well, you know, the caregivers, the retreat tells you that you're okay to do what you're doing. That's really important, to be there as a support person. But then you also have to, watch out for yourself. You have to focus on your health, your exercise, eating right, things like that is very important, and that is what the Caregivers Retreat teaches us. It's a support system even after the retreat. They have other programs out there that can help work with caregivers. So I find it is a great support.
For the three of you, caregiving obviously is something that's very important. What makes your involvement, how is your involvement so important for, people who need caregiving?
I think a lot of times family caregivers are kind of thrown into that role without a whole lot of preparation or a whole lot of warning sometimes. And we have caregivers who provide care for a variety of different people. Some of them have special needs children, some of them care for a spouse, a parent, a sibling. So they have a variety of needs as far as information. And so we try to have a really well-rounded set of speakers and people there to provide that information, because it's hard to know sometimes when you're thrown into that role who to go to for those resources. So this is a very relaxing and enjoyable, we have a lot of fun, but it's a way to get really excellent information into the hands of people who really need it and may not have a good support system yet. Hopefully they will after the retreat, but helps them understand where they can get the resources and the support they need, and lets them know that there are a lot of people in the Lansing area who are very knowledgeable and capable and very willing and able to sit down with people and say, okay, this is how we can help you with this and this and this.
Why is this retreat so special to the three of you? I mean, why is it something that's so important?
It's well needed in the area. I wish that other areas would do the same, because it is getting the information to the caregivers that they need, and a lot of the caregivers that I personally speak with have no idea where to go, what to do to help care for their loved one. So it's very rewarding, giving them the support, and I get follow-up phone calls throughout the year from people that are still looking for information and calling to talk, and so it's rewarding.
Also, I just wanted to share that even if individual is not a caregiver, it kind of prepares them for that time when they do have to step in and be the support person.
How long have you been a caregiver, Charlene?
Oh, I would say about seven years.
And so, as part of this, does this retreat happen is it an annual retreat?
Annually, every March.
And so is there anything different happening this year that caregivers could look forward to?
New and different seminars this year. All of our seminars that we're providing this year are none that have been done in the past. We have some new sponsors and vendors that will be there, different resources, and a lot more massage therapy, so some of them may be able to get 2 massages throughout the day, opposed to 1.
What is something that the three of you think it is very important for people to know about caregivers, and possibly how exhausting and strenuous their job could be? I mean, what are a few things that you think is important for people to know?
It is very exhausting, it's very stressful, and it's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week, 365 days a year job. And some of us can handle parts of that better than others. We all have to have help, and we all have to make sure that we understand in our head and our heart and in our behavior that it's not only is it okay for me to take care of myself as a caregiver, it is absolutely essential. You can't continue to give out this care in the very best way you can unless you have support yourself, and are able to access the resources you need to be able to do that.
I think too, sharing the love, letting that person know that you're still connected and showing them love and taking care of them is a major point of being a caregiver. Knowing that you have someone that you can call and connect with, you know that the resources are there and are available at any time to make your day and your life rewarding.
Is there any advice, you know, maybe Charlene, that you could give to new caregivers that are just starting out? You know, maybe they think that this is so overwhelming and I don't know, you know, I'm so exhausted and I'm stressed out. I mean, is there any advice you could give for people who are starting?
Yes, I just want to say that, you know, continue to love the person that you are taking care of, and by showing them love is by taking care of them and fulfilling the needs and make it comfortable for them. It's just something that, you know, you can't control, but there is some things you can do to make them comfortable.
Lori or Sherry, do you have any advice you could give?
I think finding out who your support group is out there, you know, connecting with somebody that's in a similar situation, you know, whether it's calling and talking to them on the phone to help relax them and not get that anger towards your loved one. You know, a lot of times when the caregivers are working with their loved ones, because of the stress level, they both might not understand each other at that time, and the caregiver needs to take the step back and, you know, take a deep breath, connect with somebody else, connect with a support group or another person to be able to better care for them.
You asked earlier what's maybe a little different this year about the retreat, and we do. There is something different every year. But one thing that I think we've built into the timing this year is extra time for people to sit and just talk to each other over lunch or whatever. And so many times, you know, we'll see people exchanging phone numbers or emails or some type of contact information so they can maintain that relationship and that support, so they can say, you know, call me anytime. May I call you anytime, and how can we talk to each other throughout the year, because it is only one day. We'd love to do it more, but that's just not an option. But part of it is really connecting people who are in a similar situation who can support each other. Caregivers know what they're up against. And something else I would encourage caregivers, especially if they're starting out, give yourself credit for what you do. It's a very difficult job. Find the support, like Lori said. You have to do that, but give yourself credit for what you do. It's not an easy job, and it is very rewarding, but more than that, it's very necessary. And people tend to look on, oh, I didn't do this right, or I didn't do this right. Focus on the things that you have been able to do for your loved one and the love that you have been able to show to them by caring for them. Yes. It's a wonderful thing that you do.
You know, it seems like the retreat not only offers caregivers to relax and to get massages and to get pep talks, but it seems like it's a way for, you know, caregivers to share their stories and create their own support groups, and, you know, so that you can have that someone standing there, you know, to talk to when you run into these problems.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. How did this retreat get started? When did it start?
Well, this is our 7th annual. Started 7 years ago, and I've been involved for 6 years, but Sherry Gast is the one that actually started the whole retreat, so she can probably better explain that.
Well, I mentioned earlier I had seen a flyer for the Carnival of Survivors of Brain Injury, and really saw the need for their whole family, because it doesn't affect just the person with the disease, whatever the disease or weakness or whatever issue might be. It affects everybody who cares about them. And when you're in the healthcare business, you might think it's easy to access some of that information, but for somebody who's not well versed in the Lansing healthcare community, it's not as easy to find the right person to do the right thing for you or to provide the right resource. So it's a very relaxing, fun way, but a way to get that great information to the people that really need it, and not have a sales pitch or anything like that. It's people who really want to come alongside and help you do what you need to do.
Where exactly does the dependent go when the caregiver is at this retreat? It's a one-day affair, right?
It is. It's one day. This year is March 27th from 8 to 4. And we have 6 different respite sites. We have some assisted livings and daycare centers that are willing to do a free day so the caregiver can drop their loved one off at those sites. And some of them have other sitters or other caregivers that might come in for that day so they can attend the event. So we try hard to help accommodate the caregivers' loved ones at our respite sites.
I know that when I think of a caregiver, I think of something that it's a full-time job. It's a huge commitment that you have to give. For someone who wants to become a caregiver, but they're a little bit reluctant, how could you kind of in a way convince them that this is something that you can get through and that you should do, and something that can be important because it's, like you said, Sherry, it's rewarding. Is there anything you could tell someone that may want to get involved?
I think it needs to start with the love. If they really love the person that they're going to caregive, they can do it. It's just, a lot of the caregiving does come through the love that you have for them, to help them feed themselves, help them, take them to a doctor's appointment, change them, bathe them. It takes a special person to do that. And if you're the caregiver of a family member, a neighbor, grandparent, friend, it comes from the heart. And I think that anybody can do it if they really want to do it and have the resources available.
Some of our caregivers do provide pretty much 24-hour care to their spouse, like Judy that we saw earlier. But a lot of them aren't doing it all the time, but they come to the retreat because they want to know what resources are out there and just kind of keep building their own arsenal of resources, if you will, for different people that they take care of. There are some people who do a little bit of help for a few different people, and that's their role right now. And it doesn't have to be a 24/7 thing necessarily to start with, but there are ways you can get involved and help a neighbor, a family member, a friend of a family member, whoever, that will very much appreciate it and probably really need it.
I just want to say that most individuals that you're caring for prefer to stay in home, and so by helping them to become self-reliant on themselves, allowing them to continuing to do the same things that they know how to do, is so important to them as well. Right. The one that is ill. So I think it's really good to help them, assist them in to make their life more comfortable. And then for you, it's rewarding for you to see them continuing on exercising and doing the things that they need to do to become stay self-sufficient.
Very quickly, is there anything else that the three of you would like to add about this retreat?
I just welcome family caregivers out there that if they'd like to attend, to please give me a call, send in a registration. We are winding down to close to the event day. So, but please, if anybody has questions, feel free to give me a call, and love to have them attend because it is very beneficial.
And they can get involved online. Can you enroll online, register online for this?
You can give me a call or email me.
Okay.
So,
well, thank you so much, the three of you, for being here today.
Thank you.
thank you for having us.
Yes.
That's all we have this time for the edition of InnerView. You can follow us on Facebook or Twitter at HOMTV or use the hashtag InnerView. I'm Alexandra Ilitch. Thank you for joining us.